You know, America is special. And no one doubts that, and no one questions that. That's why scores of people have sacrificed so much to come to this country. And it is a country like no other because it was founded on the belief that we are all created equal with certain unalienable rights that are granted to us by God and not by government. And from its beginning, America has always welcomed immigrants. And that is unquestionable as well. Our immigration system today is broken. It was broken over 14 years ago when I was in Congress. And it is still broken again today. It is broken, that's a product of a dysfunctional Washington. But because Washington is broken, it does not allow us to simply put aside our immigration laws and immigration policy. We can't just cast those into the wind just because we've got a dysfunctional federal government. And because if we do, we disrespect all of the great immigrants who came to America, who followed the process, who became a citizen and did it the right way. All of those who said, we want to come to America and we want to be American citizens. And so to ensure our democracy, our elections must be free and fair. That is the cornerstone of a constitutional republic. And of course, voting is one of the most sacred rights and responsibilities American citizens have. And let me repeat this. It is a solemn responsibility and privilege that American citizens have. And citizenship, of course, is a cornerstone for a country. And what does it mean to be a citizen? It means that a citizen is bestowed individual rights and responsibilities and duties towards a nation. And because America is special, being an American citizen requires a heightened responsibility to embrace the shared values, the histories, and the cultures that define what America is. American citizens are expected to uphold the principles of liberty, democracy, rule of law, and individual rights that form the foundation of our country. And how can one do that if one has broken the law when gaining access to this very country in the beginning? So the right to vote in the United States elections is a privilege that's reserved for American citizens.
House Republicans passed a bill requiring proof of U.S. citizenship for voter registration. Its future is uncertain in the Senate, with many Democrats calling it unnecessary. Connor Hansen explains one of the key issues for Republicans.
The yeas are 221, the nays are 198. The bill is passed.
A key part of their agenda, House Republicans passed the SAVE Act, expressing concerns that people in the country illegally could be voting in upcoming elections. 5 Democrats voted for it as well.
Let me be clear. Non-citizen voting reduces confidence in our elections. American elections are for American citizens, and we intend to keep it that way.
The law would require people to provide documents proving their citizenship when they register to vote, and it would give states access to federal databases to help them remove non-citizens from the rolls.
Come to the mic and please state your name.
Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Babe Poxtus. I am a lifelong resident of Chicago and a Cook County property taxpayer for more than 30 years. I am also a volunteer for United Sovereign Americans and not an official spokesperson. I will read part 1 of a 6-part presentation. Today I come to you as a concerned citizen of the state of Illinois, sharing alarming information about our state's voter database, uncovered through thousands of hours of research conducted by our highly qualified and credentialed data team. While the numbers are staggering and somewhat difficult to comprehend, one thing is clear: they do not add up. Just like your checkbook must balance, so must our votes. If you had $10,000 fewer dollars in your bank account than you had deposited, you would certainly want to know what happened. And if a company had that significant a discrepancy in their books, they would most certainly conduct an audit. In fact, yearly audits are required by law for all public companies. Our audit of the 2022 election, using only official data provided by state elections officials, shows that the 2022 election may not have been accurate or legally compliant. We are not saying one candidate won over another, or that any election should be overturned. The state's official data from a certified election shows that the votes as counted were not all valid and accurate under the law. Today, we will present you with a resolution demanding an end to the inaccuracy and uncertainty of our elections, along with a summary of our findings and the laws that apply. We are happy to meet with you to have time to go over this information, including more details about the specific findings. If you have questions that I cannot answer now, I will commit to getting you the answer in writing from the United Sovereign Americans executive team as soon as possible. This data and our request for an investigation have been shared with state and county officials and election certifiers. It is essential that you, as our representatives, make it clear that these issues must be considered seriously. Today we come to you, some of our closest elected representatives, for support and action. We're asking that you listen to the resolution, ask questions if you have them, and then vote promptly for its passage. If you need us on your agenda to pass, we are asking today to be invited back. Contact information is provided on the documentation provided to the chairperson. Your action on this resolution will illustrate your dedication and support to the concerns of your constituents and your country. Thank you. Our resolution is next.
My name is Michelle Peterson, and I'm continuing the resolution with United Sovereign Americans. I live in Grundy County and have been a resident of Illinois for 26 years. I also lived in Cook County for 4 years. I'm a volunteer with United Sovereign Americans and not an official spokesperson. I will continue part 3 of a 6-part presentation. Whereas an open source audit of the Illinois 2022 general election conducted by Illinois state citizens has uncovered evidence of massive inaccuracies that violate both federal and state laws, including 4,032,801 ineligible or uncertain registration violations found within the Illinois State Voter Roll database. Again, that was 4,032,801. 589,985 votes cast by ineligible or uncertain registrations. 27,491 more votes counted than voters who voted in the 2022 general election. No one knows who cast them. 589,952 apparent voting violations in excess of the legal standard of system accuracy for a valid federal election, which goes back to the HAVA law of 2002, where we would have been allowed only one error for every 125,000 ballots cast. For the 2022 general election in Illinois, this number was 33, yet we had 589,985 errors. Certification as defined by law and attestation of accuracy and compliance appears to have been fraudulent and illegal, whereas these findings trample accuracy requirements of voting systems for a federal election. For a voting system, accuracy is defined as the ability of the system to capture, record, store, consolidate, and report the specific selections and absence of selections made by the voter for each ballot position without error. Whereas it must be known factually and provably that the intent of the voters accurately represented by election results before certification can be lawfully conducted. Certification of an election that varies from the law is an abridgment of the civil rights of the citizens, a fraud ab initio, United States v. Throckmorton, 98 U.S. 61, 1878. Whereas Illinois' 2022 general election appears to have been invalid, depriving us of the guaranteed protection of our natural rights under a government duly and provably chosen by us, the American people, resulting in incalculable damage to our families, our way of life, and the fabric of these United States.
1 minute.
Thank you.